boys and all the girls, the hospitality has been superb, and even though I didn't catch an arapaima, I loved hooking into one. And I'm sure my time will come, and it's been absolutely terrific.
I would like to add to that, and I in turn, as well as thanking you all for coming here, because it wouldn't be without you, I'd also like to thank Martin, but also my gillies, Mark, Anthony,
well done.
and Steve, because they've been running around the lake, trying to keep up with everything. So thanks to them. Thank you to Nettie, thank you to Sue and all the bar staff and the chefs and everything, because it's a team.
Yeah, it is.
And you know, we're all here because of each other. So thanks.
It's been well. It's been great.
And I know I'm going on. We've always said thank you and it's thank you, but it's the same for the Gillies, Eddie, also Sam and Jules, who's not here, that have established this marvellous place, and mostly to you lot for putting up with us. And hopefully it's not been too bad, lads. And you've enjoyed it, and you've done really well. I think it's 114 fish caught today.
Today,
that would be a good say. So yeah, it's been brilliant. So, thanks ever so much. It's been really good. It's been a good experience for me, so I hope it's been a good experience for all of you.
Say thank you to Jo as well, because she helped.
We will do, definitely. So, now what we've done is we've got a few prizes to give out, but first of all, hopefully it won't be too boring, is a few people asked some questions about my life in fishing. I hope that isn't going to bore you, as I say. Eddie's got the list.
Depends what the answers are.
Yeah, depends what the answers are. So Eamon Andrews over there,
The little red book.
gonna ask the questions.
what you don't know is they've all changed.
Straight
to the point, down and dirty.
When the fruit comes out in the tins and it starts hitting me, then I'll stop, alright? So we're going to have a quick chat, and after that we'll do the prizes.
Oh,
Eddie's got to have a chat as well.
Well, we're moving on, and in no particular order, because I've got a list of questions. Martin, describe what it's like to be a professional angler.
Yeah, I've got the best job in the world. It's a lot harder work than you would actually think. You probably don't think that, me wandering around. I think the secret of being a professional angler, and I've done lectures at Starshope College where young lads are wanting to be a professional angler. Catching a fish gives you the opportunity to do it, but after that, actually catching fish doesn't count so much. It's about being able to write, being able to talk, taking photographs, and working hard, really. I'd say that's the biggest skill. Believe it or not, most of my mates who know my job, actually like close friends who know my job, none of them want my job. I wouldn't give it up for the world, but you've got to enjoy creative things. You've got to enjoy creating an article as much as catching a fish. So I would say I've never worked harder, but I love every moment of it. If you imagine, I write 52 copies a year just for Angling Times. I'm writing probably another 50 all over Europe, so that's 100 articles that need content. So you can never stop. You try and get ahead, the weather's bad, you might have 2 in the can, then you slip back, then you've got to go again. And there is a world of difference between choosing to go fishing and having to go fishing sometimes. But as I say, I wouldn't look for sympathy because it's the best job in the world. But yeah, I would say it's very hard work, but very, very rewarding, and I get to experience so many great things. I don't think anyone in the last sort of like 20 odd years has had the opportunities that I have, and I'll be forever grateful for that.
Great, thanks, Martin. And as a part of that, and during what you just described, who would you say has been the most influential person in your angling life?
Well,
Well, there's been many. But it's none of you. No. I'd say on a professional side, probably be to start with John Wilson. Not actually for fishing ability, not that John can't catch fish. It's for how to be a professional. Because if John's got to deliver, he delivers, and catching on camera is very hard. He works for the article, and there's something slightly different. I've been with very good anglers trying to create an article, and they fall apart. And then when you film, it's even worse. And it's that ability to always produce on camera, always produce for stills and a magazine. There's just a knack. I wouldn't say John's the best technical angler I've ever fished with, but if my life depended on it to get a feature done or get film done, I'd pick John. So he's been influential. Hugh Miles was very influential. I made Catching Impossible for him. He was the man behind A Passion for Angling. Very talented man. He's sort of like, I remember at the start of it, he said, a 4-year project it took to make Catching Impossible, and he said to me, you will suffer. And I thought, oh no, I'll be alright, it's like Passion for Angling, wonderful. And that's how special Passion for Angling is, because it makes you feel there'll be all picnics and cakes and lovely. It's nothing like it. It's hard work, and he was very correct that you will suffer, but you'll make something wonderful, and I learned from him. But most importantly, I would say the guys that I started with really fishing, and one of them's here, and that's Gary. So you know, they're really important, the guys you start with. And I've got a few friends, 2 or 3 friends that, yeah, are really important, except for Spike. I don't even know his name.
It might be a bad influence.
The guys you start with, we've got 2 or 3 mates from that, from starting fishing for big fish, and you know, they don't follow the same path as me, but we all sort of like started on a similar path, loving fishing, and continue today. So.
Great. And what is the most memorable catch you describe? Do you have a most memorable fish?
I think we've got 2, haven't we? Memorable.
Well, there's
and
2.
best.
There's. I was going to ask, what is the most memorable capture? But then also, what was your best day's fishing? Which can
If
be
I could take
separated.
the best day's fishing to start with,
Yeah.
if that's okay.
Yep.
My best day's fishing, without a shadow of a doubt, was on the Grand Union Canal with a 2BB onion float, a 6-foot long green rod, and I think I had a crummy old centre pin reel, and I watched for the first time that float go under, and it was connecting with a world that I didn't understand, and still to this day don't understand all the time. And without that gudging on Grove Church and the Grand Union Canal, this wouldn't have been possible. Nothing would have been possible. For me, the best day's fishing was my first fish.
That was the bird.
Because that was where it all started, and that's the journey. So it would be my gudging.
And how would you then describe your most memorable catch? Because it is different. You can separate.
Memorable was, yeah, sort
Being
of like,
filmed and your wife
I'm
will see it.
assuming. I'm assuming memorable is sort of like white class, maybe it's sort of like the top fish I've had, and I've been so lucky, and I have no doubt I've been so lucky, and it's down to a lot of people that have helped me catch big fish. It's not just down to me. I've had huge fish. I've had 2 British records. That again, you have to be very lucky to catch a fish at the right time, a crucian and a barbel. But after all of that, and ahead of all of that, I would have to say, in Catching Impossible, we were fishing for everything that was huge that people haven't seen it. Monstrous fish, and one of the challenges, just one part of everything else, was to catch a 4-pound perch. And I thought at the time I was catching loads of big perch, and I thought a 4-pound perch would be easy, and I suffered for a year to try and get it on camera. And I've always found that when something goes bad, you're actually, the fish gods are taking you on a journey to take you to a better place. And I was thinking, I can't catch this perch, why can't I catch this perch? Anyway, I got a tip off where the perch were on the ooze. I went and fished on the pole on a flat float on the roof slope. And actually, what's never shown is I had a 4-pounder the evening before, and I thought, I've done it. And Hugh went, nah, the light ain't right. After all this time, and I was like pretty pissed off. So we went back to where we were at the pub, and it started raining in the night. And I knew that was like the window was closing, because when the watercolour's up on you, you won't be catching the perch anymore. And we got there just as it was starting to. I put out the float, bang. I had another 4-pounder, and then I had a 5-pound 4 ends, which I think still to this day is the record on the river on a pole. So for me, there were so many things involved in that. that one would always go down, I think, as the most memorable fish.
And how long did it take you to catch that? You said a year.
Yeah, well, Catching Impossible took 4 years, but we had challenges. I had to get a £40 carp, £30 pike, a pound dace, a £15 barbel, a £3 roach, everything that was impossible or seemed virtually impossible. So that was over a year. I targeted perch while going for other things. But I would say, yeah, it was probably, or maybe I tried 20 times to catch it in places where I'd caught like lots of £4 perch before, and sometimes, like I say, when the cameras come out, man, that becomes hard.
The group's got a couple of techie questions while we're still on the UK fishing, and one of them is how to catch a grayling. The best techniques to catch a grayling, where would you start?
Grayling, wonderful winter fish. They're cold water Arctic species, so the colder it is, the better it is, as long as the water is clear. They don't like coloured water whatsoever. So recently the water's been coloured a lot, and it's not been a great grayling winter, but you want to have clear water, cold water, even if it's snowing, ice, frost, doesn't matter. Probably the easiest way to catch them is ledger them with a swim feeder, but that's like going to bed with your socks on. It's sort of like cheating. They are a quite, I wouldn't say, they're an obliging fish. So if they're around, you should catch them. So I would say the nicest way to get them is trotting. Red maggot is very good, trotting with red maggot.
Yeah, bait for the future, that's it.
But one little tip that I have to catch really big grayling is certainly on some pressurised stretches, like where I fish on the Froome down indoors and stuff like that, is the actual biggest grayling live in the slacks. All the small ones are out and you're trotting, and they're a bugger because they fall off really easy. You land one, you lose one, you land one, just because they put up that sack and it falls out. But if you target the slacks, that's where the best ones will be, like the inside, outside of bends. And a really good change bait is half of a red worm. Just nick on half of a red worm, and I just lay on strep peg style. So basically, I just put my float over depth and just lay the float on. A little bit of a worm, brandling can be, red worm, especially if they've seen a lot in the slack. Boom, go under. And that's your best chance of catching a big fish. And if you're looking for places to go, I know the south of England better, but a great place to start is the Lower Itchen fishery on the Itchen. Full of grayling, loads and loads. You can have a great day there, buy a day ticket in the winter, and you can catch 30 or 40 grayling in a day. So that's a good place to go.
Great. Another UK fish, barbel. One person here wants to know, how would you tackle flood water barbel fishing? Which river would you choose to do it, and how would you select your swim? What thoughts or your process are you going through on swim selection on floodwater barbel fishing?
It's hard for me to select a river because I love them all. I mean, you've got to think that the Trent is a world of difference from the Kennet. That's firstly, you know, the Trent and the Wye are big rivers, they'll eat you alive. The Kennet, even in full flood views, you know, they're fairly sedate. But I would say overall, I'm looking for the same thing. I'm looking for what I call glass water, where I could trot afloat. I'm not looking for boils coming back on itself, you know, where rubbish, because I always think if I was a fish and I was sitting there, last thing I'd want is to be in a washing machine.
But you must know the river before you go there, surely.
No, if you walk it, yeah, I mean, it obviously helps, but you can normally see and go, right, a crease where there's a slack and sit on the crease. Look for where the water's really smooth. It might be really fast, but it'll be smooth, so it's comfortable for the fish sitting. Another good place is the straight of an S-bend. A lot of rivers have an S-bend, and then there's a straight between the two, and that straight, however small that S-bend is, that straight area is really good. The inside of bends, but it's not only the inside of bends that are good, because sometimes the slackest water is on the outside of bends.
You know the TV programme you did of you floodwater fishing?
Yeah.
Where was that?
That on Catching Impossible,
Yeah.
that was on the Hampshire Avon.
Right.
And that swim there, that particular swim, I was fishing underneath a raft. That swim there, there's nothing there in the summer. There's no fish there. It's about a few inches deep. But as the water comes up, the barb will drop from the peg above because it's all boily and everything's smashing into it, and they drop round to this raft because it's a bit deeper. So that's a good tip actually, is don't write off places where in the summer you're looking more for weir pools, faster water. Later on in the year they'll drop down, and they'll be in places quite often where you would never dream of barbel fishing in the summer. And I would say that's a gradual process during the year. During the 16th, they're normally still up in the weir pools, and then they start coming downriver, and you can catch them in really slow water. That was slow water in the summer, but is now comfortable to it. But what I'm looking for is overall just a place where it would be comfortable to live. I don't think you can even say depth, because there's near me, where very close to where I live, is Chippenham, and unfortunately a lot of the barbel are gone now because the otters have eaten them. But there was a great time when I first moved down there, and there's a sandbar which is completely exposed all year. Well, all year other than a flood. So in the autumn I'd go down there and I'd clean it all up. For all the debris, I'd take the twigs out, I'd take everything out, I'd tidy it all up. So my sandbar was totally clean. So I knew then when it flooded, the fast water on the far bank, they didn't feel comfortable in there, and that was a deep channel. They'd come out of there, come across, they'd sit on my nice clean sandbar that didn't have a twig or anything in it, no rubbish, nothing. And I could cast straight on it, bang, and have a fish straight away. So yeah, that's probably a good tip, is to fish an area, or don't be afraid to fish an area where you're not catching barbel in the summer.
My favourite one, tell us a true and funny fishing tale from your experience. I love it.
Right, seeing as there's a camera on me, yeah, I think the funniest and well, maybe it wasn't funny for me, but quite concerning one, and will be funny for you, maybe hopefully funny for you, is sort of like don't tend to follow people's leads that I don't really know, because you know fishermen, there's big tails, tall tails and everything like that. Anyway, this guy got in contact with me, and he kept contacting me saying he knew where there was some huge perch. Then he was very keen for me, when I accepted it, to like meet him at McDonald's and leave my car there and get into his car, which I fortunately didn't do. No, I'll meet you there, I'll meet you there. And anyway, we pulled up and we had to go on this long walk down an alley down by the side of the river, and I walked down there, and as I get down there I'm getting more and more suspicious that it's not looking quite right. So I start putting my keys between my fingers, because I'm thinking there might be mates coming out here and they might be getting me. And then I get there and he says, this is it. And it was just horrendous. It was just full of litter. It was, oh, I didn't think it would look like this, he said, but have a look at this. And with that, he pulled out a load of cuttings of me that he'd cut, but all crushed up, and he started folding them out.
Cuttings?
Like cutting pictures of me. Like, and he opened them all up.
It's outside.
Now at that stage, I have to admit, I run off.
Did you catch him, Spike? Wheel, boys, wheel!
No, it wasn't Spike. So I run off. I thought that was quite bizarre, and like I said before, proper celebrities get caught with drugs and women, and I got snared by a perch.
Yeah.
So there you go. So that's probably the most bizarrest and maybe the
No, I love that one. Right, moving out of England, an interesting question would be, where other than the UK do you fancy fishing? Have you got any goals set for foreign fish other than Thailand? Let's leave Thailand out because that's where we're here. Sorry if that's messed you up, but leave the UK, leave Thailand. Have you got any international goals you want to achieve with fish you want to catch?
I'm not going far away from the UK, but yeah, actually this year I've sort of like just got. It's all about your own personal challenge. It only means what it means to you. I've come to understand it. You know, you think to start with when you're in the paper, everyone's bothered about what you catch. It's about what it means to you. And for me personally, it's just I like in my sea fishing to try and catch species over 100 pounds around the British Isles. and I've been very lucky. I've caught a few, but there's 2 over in Ireland that I've got intentions to try and catch this year, and that's a 6-gilled shark, and they're a real deep water species, and they grow up to about 2,000 pounds. So it's going to have to be pretty robust gear and wire and stuff, and I've got a contact with that. But one of the most exciting that I've been told about that I would really love, and I've actually been shown photos from commercial boats, and I never knew it existed. And although we're in Thailand, do not doubt that great big game fishing is available around the British Isles. I was shown pictures of broadbill swordfish caught in an area between Ireland and Wales, right, where the continental shelf drops off quickly. An area like the Porcupine Banks, there's like a bite of the continental shelf where it brings it in closer, and you've got very deep water, thousands of feet. And there, believe it or not, we have swordfish, massive fish that would grow to 1,000 pounds. And I'm told that commercial boats have tried it. They've tried it, and they've caught the bluefin tuna that are off the Irish coast. And if you ever get a chance to do that, that is spectacular. But there's also swordfish, and as I say, I've got photos I can show you later on my phone. So what it will mean is waiting for a very calm period in the Atlantic, because literally it's coming over from Canada and America, and that's the full stop in the water, and you're going to be in a little boat for 2 or 3 days sleeping there. Monitoring the radar, making sure you don't get run over by a very big boat, and you troll luminous like lures at night. So ain't that spectacular? Quite a little bit dangerous, but man, if you get a swordfish, you'll be the first one to get one on the line. And they're out there. We have broad-billed swordfish off of our coast. So for me, that's the next couple of adventures.
And last year you came to Thailand for the first time for Jurassic. You did a feature for the AT. You did 5 days filming that you didn't even know you were going to be doing, but you did, and you've got a DVD now. And then what you didn't know and you are now is that a year later you're here as part of Jurassic, and you're doing your first hosted trip. John, your uncle, John Wilson, lives 4 hours south of here. He's left England. He's now in Thailand. Have you any plans to move to Thailand?
No, I don't know quite how I got it, to be honest. I've been getting duped.
He's still confused.
No, I'm slightly confused. But I like it as a holiday destination. I am English, British. I love that. Everyone's different. Everyone looks at different things, and I think this is a great place for supplying you with a couple of weeks, a dream. You know, you get some sun on your back and huge fish. But for me, what can I say? This is. I always feel that when I fish abroad, it's like having a love affair, but it's not my wife. And my wife is very, that's how I feel about my country. It's like I can get into it, I can work things out, I can have a plan, I can keep going back, and that really gives me my buzz in fishing, having that constant like plan of things. I go back, I think, oh, I did that wrong, and I did it. So this is a great place, and I'm part of it, and I endorse it fully, and hopefully for many years to come we'll be bringing people out here. But if I was truly honest, my heart, I can't see won't continue to be for a very long time. You never know in the future, but for the moment will always be the fishing in Great Britain.
Thank you. Now you spent a week with 4 of the Nottingham boys, Paul, Roger, Les and Phil, and after the week, do you still want to be part of the honorary member of their club? They want to know, are you still up for it?
Well, they're Midlanders and I'm a Midlander really, because I come from Lewis.
He's off cop then.
He's halfway to
London,
He's a guy trying to be a northerner now.
I feel, yeah,
No one has ever wanted to be that.
How did you get from there to north? What, British Rail?
So I feel, yes.
Do I need to get the 5th shirt out?
Yes, I will put your 5th shirt.
They're not putting you on the spot, but
No, I
do
would
you
love
want
to
to be an
be
honorary
an
member?
honorary member.
If you've got the form, guys, sign them up.
Let's count your fingers. You got to have 6 fingers, you know. You got to do an IC.
Well,
So yes, very kind of you. I'd like to accept your offer. If it ever comes through on the post, But when I leave here, I'm changing my address.
Don't worry, we'll find you.
So have ways.
Well, with that, thank you very much, Martin. They're all the questions that I had from the group.
I've got one more.
Please.
Right.
How come when you went tarpon fishing?
Tarpon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you get on?
Yeah, not very good actually.
And
Joe caught.
how did
So
your
I
wife-
know
how did
that's
your wife get
the-
on?
Yeah, we were in Cuba and everyone I hooked fell off, and then this was bizarre, but everyone I hooked fell off. And then my wife had a go, and I've never seen anything like it. The tarpon was hooked up, and the first thing he did was jump in the boat.
Surrendered straight
Just
away.
ran straight in the boat. And that was it. So
I've got a wife like
yeah,
that.
that was in Cuba. So I jumped straight.
So now I know what to do to catch an arapaima then. Bring your wife with me.
That's right. So what we're going to do now is a few awards, I think.
Yeah, that's it.
Um,
Mark.
So I've got a list.
Can we pause?
Now Eddie's drawn this list up, and I've been